Hey, what's up?
Yo, my brother.
Hey, welcome back for another episode of Two Dudes, Two's Do's.
This is going to be a goodie.
It is.
A super goodie because it makes me so angry.
I hate this topic so much. I spit on it.
What?
Simpsons quote. The gym teacher. He's like a Russian gym teacher, and they're talking about something, but he's like, I hate them so much. I spit on it. You don't remember that?
I don't.
Yeah, it's
Gosh,
great.
dang it. Embarrassing.
Anyway, what are we talking about?
Anger. Lots of anger discussion. The way it came about was, well, you tell what you thought of it.
Yeah, well, so like today at work, I was talking with one of my coworkers about, just like, you know, how in general, he actually shared a pretty personal story with me. I'm not going to share on this, but you know, something bad happened to somebody he really cares about, and it was caused by somebody that person really cared about, and it really upset him, my coworker. Anyway, we got talking about how society kind of paints this picture of like, you know, when somebody makes you mad, it's kind of an eye for an eye, right? Like, oh, what I would do is punch him in the face. I would kick him in the shin. You know, I'd run
into my face.
If you do it again, I'll run you down with my car. Another Simpsons quote.
Yes.
Anyway, but I think that, you know, Jesus came and said something about the eye for an eye thing, if I recall. So we're going to talk a little bit about anger and how a real man should handle it.
Or how different people think a real man should handle it. Because, you know, person A may not think the same as person B.
True.
So, let's start with, what makes you angry, Zach?
Ooh,
Zach, tell me.
The old triggers.
Yeah, give me some of your biggest triggers. And there's also different kinds of anger too, right? There's like anger at your kids. There's anger driving. There's anger at the lollipop that you took the wrapper off and didn't get the Indian with the star.
Yeah.
There's anger when you kick you kick your side of your bed and you hit your toe.
Or step on a George Foreman grill when you get out of bed.
Lots of anger. So let's just talk about, well, whatever. What makes you angry?
I would say I've got a few. How long are we trying to keep this episode? Few triggers. And they almost have different angry reactions, but there's like the immediate off the cuff, fly off the handle type of anger, like immediate triggers. And then there's this stuff that like, it really made me mad, but I may not have a crazy outburst, right? So yeah. Something that comes to mind. It also is who makes me mad, right? I have a real problem with
California drivers.
Yeah, California drivers. I have a real problem with just stupid drivers.
Stupid drivers.
It makes me so upset, and it happens to me every day.
Remember that Goofy cartoon where he would turn into Mr. Wheeler? I think that was his name.
Mr. Wheeler.
He needed to be the angry Goofy.
No, I don't.
It was old. It was old Goofy.
Okay.
But yeah, driving is, dude, sometimes the dumbest thing can just make me fly off the handle while I'm driving.
Yeah. And like, I don't think I ever let it go to the point of road rage, right? But sometimes like I try to get even a little bit, you know? So here's an example. This happened just yesterday. I'm driving to work. I'm in the fast lane. There's a car in front of me. I like to keep a little distance between me and the car in front of me, right? Because I don't want to crash into them if they have to hit the brakes all of a sudden. But there's a car on my bumper behind me, and that's my biggest trigger. It's like when somebody's just riding my tail. Even though I'm in the fast lane just like he is, and there's a car in front of me, and we're all trying to get where we're going, pal. Anyway,
were you driving like a Gramps?
No, and neither was the car in front of me. Like I was limited to how fast the car in front of me was going, and the one in front of him and in front of him.
Okay.
And so
trying to speed through traffic.
I'm just like, this is super annoying. And what I've been trying to do is like, okay, just move over, let them pass, shrug it off. Well, I was in a particular mood, and so I moved over, let him go. I got behind him, and then I rode his tail.
Oh,
and I was
that's
like,
road rage.
I was like, let's see how you like it, pal. But I didn't get as close as he would get, and if he had to brake, I had my foot ready, hovering over the brake. Nothing came of it. He just crossed over the double white line into the HOV lane. He didn't signal. He's just a terrible, stupid driver, right?
I bet he was Californian. You know what's funny? I don't even... That's just something I've heard ever since I moved here. I don't even know...
California drivers.
Yeah, I don't even...
I bet he was on his way to make a cash offer on a house that a Utahn wanted.
No, dude, I'll lose it sometimes in my car, but I don't outwardly project it. I'll just be, yelling stuff to myself, and that stupid idiot. But I don't stare people down. I don't flip them off.
Mm-hmm.
One time I took Bentley to softball, and after I took my daughter to softball, and afterwards we were driving away, and I guess I cut off this guy. I don't know. We were getting onto Bangor Highway, and he pulls up next to me, flipping me off, and then sees Bentley, and he's like, "Whoop!" He pulls it down,
takes it back.
Yeah. But
that's funny.
I've had situations. I had a situation in high school where I ended up throwing this slushie at this kid. Mm-hmm. His car, so stupid, and then he threw a drink at mine, and just stupid reactions. That what if you threw something at somebody's car, they reacted wrong, and they crashed and died? Yeah, those are the anger lessons that. Or the guy has a gun and he decides that he's going to use it.
Yeah,
anger can create really bad situations fast.
Good point.
I think most of those we probably don't need to talk about, just because I think for the majority of people listening, that's not really going to be a situation.
Yeah.
But you do hear stories like that, right? Where somebody got mad and did something.
Yeah. And, the one thing always holds true is that I think for most of us who are trying our best to be a good person, when you do lash out in anger, 99% of the time I regret it, And so...
For example...
like, I don't know. Yesterday I didn't feel that bad, but it wasn't like
this
super...
This was yesterday?
Yeah. I said that before I started telling.
Okay. I didn't catch that.
But it wasn't super retaliatory. Like, it didn't put him or me in danger. It was just kind of like, oh, do you want to feel what it's like to have an idiot behind you? Yeah. It was...
So we're still learning.
Justice.
Yeah. So back to your comment about, like, what people expect, right?
Uh-huh. Of how you handle someone who wrongs you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily think that people think you should retaliate on the road, right? But in person, there's the Michael J. Fox when he Back to the Future, and he's like calls him yellow, and he's like, nobody calls me yellow.
Yeah.
Biff. And then he's supposed to stick up for himself, or not get pushed around, or that type of stuff. And I feel like usually that just ends up causing problems.
Yeah.
But sticking up for other people, and even then, I guess you don't have to fight. I'm not an advocate of fighting. I don't. Obviously, I think that it's to protect somebody. It might be necessary, but just losing your temper and then deciding to fight somebody.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm perfect and haven't done it, but I am saying it was always bad decision. Always.
Yeah. Do you feel like I feel like my reaction, it's just hard to know sometimes in the heat of the moment, but there's a difference between, for example, if somebody cuts me off, like gets real close, cuts me off on the road, and I'm in the car with my family.
Yeah.
I have small kids in there. That person puts us in danger, puts us all in danger, right? Do you feel like there's a difference between reacting to something like that versus something that just like you're offended by, you choose to be offended by? And let's say this person is like habitually reckless and puts other people in danger.
Yeah, but with your family in the car, you probably wouldn't want to engage with that person.
You couldn't do it there.
Yeah. If
but
you
something
maybe knew
similar.
them or something, I still don't. It would make me angry. Either way, anybody did that make me angry, and make me think that person just is not the smartest of people. But I don't know. I can tell you that when people do stuff to me versus when people would do it to my wife or my kids, I definitely am more likely to react in a more outward, public way when it's my kids and my wife.
Yes.
Like, remember that time we were in Hawaii? And
yes.
And
you super kept your cool?
How old was she? Like 4?
If that, dude. I think,
My daughter was... This guy walked by.
It was
with
2014.
2014.
October 2014.
Yeah, so she would have been 3. So she's 3 years old. Guy walks by with a dog. My daughter she's sitting in a chair, and we're all sitting there eating snow cones. She starts.
Guy goes inside.
Yeah, guy
and
goes
leaves
inside,
his dog, and the dog comes under the table.
Yeah, good dog and everything, but my daughter's kicking her feet, and I guess I didn't really see it, but I guess she ends up like nudging the dog, like kicking the dog with her feet. Not like hard, but just,
I did see it.
You did see it?
It was literally nudging.
Oh, gosh. Anyway, this guy comes out and grabs her arm, and he's like, "Don't kick my dog." And I don't know. I didn't know exactly how to act at first. I almost didn't believe it was happening. But yeah, we stayed cool.
I remember clear as day your reaction in particular, because I like stopped. I was ticked and triggered, but I was like, this isn't mine to handle. This is and I just look over and I see you stand up, and you very calmly you just said, "Dude, don't touch my daughter."
And I gave him a Book of Mormon.
Yeah. You said, "Let's go down to the beach and I'll baptize you."
Yeah, I remember being calm about that. I guess I don't want to make it worse in front of the kids and family, I guess. And the way my wife is, she does not think that if I were to fight somebody, it would be cool at all.
Yeah, like defend my honor.
Oh, she would definitely want me to protect our kids at any cost. But if I was just being a loud dad and wanted to fight somebody or something, she would so mad.
Yep.
So mad. So she doesn't think that the being cool and being the tough guy is anything. So I guess I don't really have a desire to be that way.
Yeah, I think your wife and my wife are like super good at shaking it off. Almost just like, yeah, that person was a dummy, whatever. Let's just move on from it. Like my wife has told me about stuff that happened to her, and I was like, oh man, if I was there.
Yeah.
And she's like, she just brushes it off like really well. It still hurts when in the moment, right?
Yeah.
Like it's hard to just have somebody treat you so poorly.
Yeah.
But I think you hit on the important point of what is the example you set
Yeah.
for people around you, especially your kids, when you can't get a hold of your anger.
Yeah.
In the heat of the moment.
That you said this earlier. That's the real man, right?
Yeah.
The guy who can control himself in situations. There's like rage angry, and then there's just like angry. And throughout my career and the places I've worked, I've gotten angry a lot. Just at some things that maybe were like they were justified, and some things that just totally weren't, like maybe misunderstandings or whatever. And you can't just blow off the handle like that all the time, right? You can't just get mad at work and then go pout in the corner or start yelling at someone. And a lot of times if you approach them, people, especially when we're older, we're not 20, but now you approach people and you lay it out and you explain it to them and the reasons why. Sometimes it makes it a lot better,
It's a good like teaching moment in those moments when you have kids there to observe. You can. The example speaks louder than anything.
Yeah.
But also, they'll see that example, and it's an opportunity for them to learn. I'll never forget my one time when I was dealing with one very difficult person. I remember having a conversation with my dad, and he told me in very simple terms. He said,
"Calm yourself, Iago."
yeah, exactly. And he basically said there is great power in staying calm.
Yeah.
Because in reality, it's funny because it's so backwards. We feel like we control a situation by getting angry at someone. We're putting someone in their place or teaching somebody something by getting angry at them. When in reality, that's when we lose control of the situation. Yeah. And so he said that, and I'll never forget that. There's great power in remaining calm.
Especially during the nut situations,
Yeah.
in turmoil, know
Exactly.
what to do.
So here's a question I want to ask you. Do you feel like, let's say, because you were mentioning like the stuff collecting over time, you've got these angry situations, you're kind of getting to the end of your fuse. Do you have like some outlets that helps you to like let off the steam so that you can get past the emotion of it? Things are building up. You're feeling irritable. You're like the next person that does one thing wrong.
Yeah.
Is going to get it.
TV, like a show, or a lot of times just walking away from the situation, I can calm down pretty quick.
Yeah.
I'm not a person that really holds on to a lot of anger. I can get mad really quick, but I don't do it frequently at all. But I also don't. It's too hard for me to hold on to anger, like to hang on to something that happened, and because of that, I don't like this person, and then I have to see them, and I just can't deal with that. I have a hard enough time dealing with normal situations. So keeping a list of people I don't like and what they did and how they offended me and blah, 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 I just can't do it. And so I don't know exactly how I trained myself to do it, but I can get over things pretty quickly. And if it just keeps going, I'm usually pretty good about just talking to the person, and then I'm fine. But if it's just a bunch of stuff, or it's just like not a person, maybe things, I usually just have to get away. And I'll be fine, and go outside and run some Pokemon Go, and I'll be good.
Nice. Yeah, if it's something like I can't get away from because it's building up,
Yeah.
just fresh air, getting outside, fresh air,
Yeah.
get in the sun, take some deep breaths, man. That does it for me usually. But yeah, I would second that. I've seen you do that, and you're pretty good at not holding on to stuff.
Yeah. It's too much work.
Just can eat at you, and yeah, it's like
Yeah.
taxing.
Dude, oh my gosh. And just like always thinking about where this person is or what I did or who said what it's just so much easier to say, okay, whatever. My mom always says that just let people be people, right? And people do people things. And I'm an idiot and I do idiot things. And other people are idiots and they do idiot things. So, just let them be people and move on. And just okay, it's an experience. So even if you think you're right and they're wrong, it's just too much work. Can't hold on to it. So what about your kids? That's another angry topic, right? Because my kids they can light my fire. One time, I remember my kids I was getting so mad at my kids because I felt like they weren't like kind of listening to what I was telling them to do. But then I got so mad so quick that my wife started laughing and then my kids started laughing and it only made me angrier. And I just kept getting madder and they're all trying not to laugh and I'm like, stop laughing. Like was that guy on Roger Rabbit? Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Yeah.
But it just made me so mad and I just kept getting madder and madder and man, my kids can they can get me going. But I don't really think I don't know. Obviously it's different with kids, but keeping that anger under control sometimes in the moments when when their room is a mess or they broke something or blah blah blah. That's hard.
Yeah.
That's harder probably than most other angry moments I have.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I can tell you that one of the ones that me and my wife talk about this pretty consistently, but Sundays are a hard day for my mood.
Sunday dad?
Sunday dad.
Yeah. I wonder how many other people, because you said your wife calls you Sunday dad.
I think we started, there was something about that, but after you told me that your kids and wife sometimes call you weekend dad.
Weekend dad, yeah. And it's not a good thing. They say it's like, oh, okay, are you going back to work on Monday? I think it's like chores and working and also just being irritated. Weekend dad, yeah.
I've always wondered if it's just the simple fact that like for 5 days a week we have a very regular routine. And so do the kids with school and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then the weekend rolls around and it's kind of like routines out the door. There's all the stuff that you can't do during the week. This is how I feel anyway. Can't do during the week and you can only do on Saturday, but then like obstacle after obstacle comes up on Saturday or even Sunday and you can't do these things. And it throws me off out of my element. I get kind of cranky. But what triggers me on Sunday is that in particular, we go to church. And during the first hour of church in sacrament meeting, right?
Man, yeah.
And I feel like it's fair to have an expectation that my kids are appropriate to their age, reverent in that meeting.
Or in anything, really, right?
Yes.
Any type of, you should be able to act your age in the environment you're in.
Yes. And I don't expect perfection. I know that my 2-year-old's going to be up out of his chair. He's going to be moving around. He's going to ask for snacks. He's going to talk. Like, I'm okay with all those things. But when it blows up and like two kids wanted the same activity to do, and then they fight over it, and one of them starts crying, and then one yells at the other and pulls on their arm and scratch it, whatever. It drives me up the wall.
Yeah, yeah.
And I end up like, I just look over at Emily because she knows how I'm starting to feel and that I'm about to boil over. And she usually comes to the rescue. And so, but that one is a trigger for me.
Dude, me too. When they lean over and ask me a question that has nothing to do with what's going on, I seriously just stare at them sometimes like, what are you doing? I'm sitting here trying to watch something and you're just asking me about soccer practice or I don't know, something. Drives me nuts.
Yeah.
But I mean, overall, I think we're pretty chill people, and I wish, even as we've gotten older, I notice more people are chill, and I would just say that getting angry really doesn't solve much at all, and being able to control that anger is really the impressive part, right? But I don't know, maybe we're wrong. Maybe there are situations that we're not thinking of. There was this movie that some people might know. It was one of the best movies ever made.
Oh, Nacho Libre?
No, it is called Airborne.
Ah, yeah.
It is a early 90s movie where a surfer goes to, I want to say Minnesota.
Was this the Keanu Reeves one?
No.
No, it's not.
It's not Keanu Reeves, but Jack Black is in it as a bully at school.
Oh, okay.
But he's young, dude. Way young. And anyway, the kid is a surfer, right? And he's gone to live with his uncle and aunt. I think in Minnesota. It's cold wherever it is. And he gets there and everybody hates him and makes fun of him and calls him surfer bro, blah, blah, blah. And then he gets his rollerblades, and it's a rollerblade movie, and I love rollerblades. Yeah. Anyway.
My brother-in-law talks about this movie several times,
dude, so
since
good.
I've known him, and I don't remember it. I need to go back and watch it.
Yeah, Airborne with Mitchell Goosen. That's his name. Nice. And his cousin in the movie is Seth Green.
Green? The redhead guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, then what's the name of the guy who created Family Guy?
Seth MacFarlane.
Okay. Yeah, so
yeah.
Seth Green is his brother or cousin in it, and he's hilarious, right? But anyway, he goes there, and people are being mean to him. They keep picking on him, and he just keeps letting it go because he says it's not worth it. He's like, I'm not going to fight you, blah, blah, blah. And then he ends up liking this girl, and turns out the girl's brother is one of the bullies who picks on him a lot. And finally in the movie, the Seth Green says to him, you got to fight for something, do something, stick up for this girl or what you want. And he ends up like pantsing the guy. It's really funny, but
in front of a lot of people.
Yeah, so maybe there are some things worth fighting for, and I don't know.
Yeah, and I wonder if you can even like approach those things without anger.
Yeah,
maybe not. Maybe that's what's driving it, is like your anger, or it's just your sense of I need to stop this behavior because it's impacting either people or things that I really care about.
Yeah.
And somebody else needs to know that it's not going to stand.
Yeah. Yeah, there are a few things that I don't care what time of day it is, where I am, or what's going on. Something happens to my family because someone's being stupid, I will react.
Mm-hmm.
And I would, in very serious circumstances, I would not fault somebody who also acted, even though you would hope that they'd be able to control themselves. And I'm talking like serious circumstances, like, abuse type stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
But man, I don't know. I don't think
tough one.
Yeah, I don't think I'm strong enough. Have you ever seen that news article? Or no, the news station showed a picture of a kid's face. This. Well, he's not a kid. It's a guy who broke into his daughter's room, and the dad got him and just beat him to a pulp.
No.
Yeah, you can't even like recognize that it's a face.
Oh, I think I have seen that.
Yeah,
the
it's
aftermath
funny.
of the face.
Yeah. I mean, in that situation, it's really hard not to be like,
oh, yeah.
good for you, dude. Anger all the way.
Like beyond the point of I just getting my daughter out of this situation. It's like, yep.
I'm
going to exact justice on his occipital bones.
Yeah. Give him a new nose hole.
Yep.
But yeah, I can't fault people for that, even though it's still probably not the best decision. There was a guy who ended up killing another guy in a situation like that in Texas, and he
manslaughter. Did he go to prison?
He didn't go to prison.
Okay, he was let off.
Yeah, he was let off. And that movie, A Time to Kill, remember that? It's also a book.
I don't think so. Isn't that a James Bond movie?
No, it's a Grisham.
Oh, okay.
And in the movie, it's McConaughey and Samuel L. Jackson.
Oh.
That's a good movie, dude. That's a good
nice. Movie. Haven't seen that. So, yeah, I mean, recap, like, this is a tough one. But, you know, and also for listeners, would love to hear, like, your proud moment of overcoming your anger and how you handled it.
Yeah.
Also, do you feel like sometimes that anger is like the lashing out is merited? But anyway, would love to hear back on some opinions there.
And if you don't give us your opinions, it'll make me so angry.
Yes. You'll never.
So remember how we decided we were going to end these?
No.
I feel like we said, thanks for joining us, and if we don't see you again, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. The old Truman Show.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe not. But, yeah, this is a good topic. Everybody can relate to it, and love to hear feedback on it.
Definitely want to hear how other people have handled this, you know, what are their triggers and how have they overcome some of these things. And, you know, decide to be a real man about it.
Yeah, be a real man.
Be a real man already.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us. This is a good topic. Enjoyed talking about this one, even though, you know, it brings back angry memories. Anyway.
Wait, maybe I should tell that funny joke I heard the other day.
Oh, yeah.
That involves anger. So the guy goes...
This was a stand-up comedian.
My girlfriend snores all the time. Drives me absolutely insane. Won't stop snoring. Thank goodness I have noise-canceling fists. Noise-canceling fists. It's terrible.
Come up with this stuff.
It's terrible. Okay, well, like we said, in case we don't see you again, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
Later.